Hey everyone, this is Mike with Intentional Guy, and I'm here to talk to you today about a special project that we've got coming up. You may have heard and seen all the advertisements I've had about my book Exposed that's come out, and it's been I'm very appreciative of how it's been accepted. It's a very raw, transparent book. But I also have another book out, and it's called Intentional Man. And I'm here today not just to promote it, but we're getting ready to do a podcast regarding this book. This book is a devotional for small men's group to do. I also have a version that was being created right now that's for halfway houses, prison, and other things like that. But what I want to talk to you guys today is me and two of my friends are getting ready to do a video podcast that's going to be on YouTube and probably on Facebook as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through 2 months of this book, dissecting this. And the book is entitled Intentional Man. It's a devotional for men who want to be intentional in their relationship with Jesus Christ. If you've read my story tells you about my fall from grace, but it also tells you a lot about things that happened in my life, things that until just recently I never really divulged to anyone. As a minor, I was sexually abused by a missionary at our house, and I never shared that story with my family or anyone. And what's amazing is because I kept that secret for all these years, I believe it was a root cause for a lot of defects that happened in my life. The enemy used that time period as a way to make me live in guilt and shame and to not see myself as Christ sees me. And therefore what happened was I did not develop the character that I thought I had. What I was doing was I was living a fake life. And when I look around me and I see men at restaurants, at work, other things, I see nothing but a bunch of zombies looking into their phone, disconnected from their families, their church, their community. And that's no way to live. And I can say that because that's who I was. So what we want to do is we're going to come together in this podcast and we're going to dissect all of this information. It's not a deep book. It's only got 8 chapters. So we're going to take 8 weeks to do this. And in this 8 weeks, so we're going to talk about certain principles that you need to do to protect yourself to become that man of God that God has created you to be. The only thing that you have to bring to the table is, I would suggest 2 things. Get my book Exposed and read it. If you haven't got it yet, I'll leave you a link to where you can find it. But then I'm also going to tell you to go and get the book here, Intentional Man, and read and have that ready too. Now you can get the digital version. This is only $8, and I really suggest you get this because it has places in here where we can write and we can discuss some of the things that are happening in our life. The whole purpose in this is to give men the opportunity to become who God created us to be. This isn't deep. It isn't rocket science. It is simple principles in becoming a man. And a lot of that is getting involved in our local church, but getting involved in our family, getting involved in our kids' life in the proper ways, and being that man every day, waking up with an intentional purpose to serve God the way that we're supposed to. We're going to remove legalism from this, and we're going to put God in its place. I learned through my journey a new God. And I go to a tremendous church with a great pastor. I'm involved in a great small group Bible study. I go to a Christian counselor. I'm doing everything in my life to become that man of God that God wants me to be. All you have to do is 2 things. 1, have a willingness to want to improve your life. No one can make you change. Only you can. When is a man ready for change? When he's ready, and not a moment sooner. I have so many friends who have written me since this book coming out, who's going through divorces or going through depression or going through just different chaotic lives. And I'm going to tell you, God doesn't promise that our life is going to be happy all the time. Because in fact, being a Christian, we're going to have trials and tribulations that come our way. Because if we're living right, the enemy doesn't like it, he's going to come at you. But what we can do is surround ourselves with the right people, with the right information, with the right verses, with the right tools, so that when the enemy comes to attack us, we can stand tall because we have the tools that God has given us to serve him. So I want to encourage you, and I'm going to ask you, think about it. It's going to be 2 months. The second thing you got to be willing to do is to listen. Listen to something that might be different than what you've known from before. Are you ready to grow? Are you ready to become the man that God wants you to be? I hope so. And I hope that this will be an encouragement to you to become someone who God wants you to be. It just takes a commitment. We're going to look at 8 weeks. Think you could do 8 weeks? I can. So 8 weeks, and we're going to put it up there, and you can even do it on a different night. We're going to have a live podcast, but you can, if that night doesn't work with you, do another night. Leave comments in there. Let's help each other grow. One of the other things I recommend doing is get someone in your church, another man, to walk this journey with you, because I'm going to tell you, I found restoration in my life after a major fall, and that restoration came from the relationships that Jesus Christ put into my life at my lowest points. See, we can run from God and we can go far from God. And even as a Christian, I can do just whatever a lost person can do. The difference is I can push God away and I can run from him, but God will never run from me and God will never leave me. And he will do the same for you. You might be in a place right now where you don't have a lot of hope, or you just can't find that way of being that man that you know God wants you to be. Let me encourage you. We want to help you. I have the dates ready for you. Give me a week to get this organized, but I want you to start now. I'm going to leave a link where you can get the books. Let's take a journey on becoming the men God wants us to be.